Oke, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Diandini and I will report my report about the book report. That third book is entitled the Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. So the book cover of my novel that I choose is like this. This is the novel The Chronicles of Narnia, and then the genre of this novel is The Chronicle of Narnia is a fantasy novel series by C.S. Lewis, which consists of 7 books and is aimed at children. But what I chose was The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. The series was written by Lewis from 1950 to 1959 and 1959 and contains elements of Christian, Greek, and Romance mythology, as well as English and Irish fairy tales. The genre itself is, in my opinion, is fantasy, action, and adventure. Reader, because this novel tells a lot about fantasy and things that are beyond human reason, I think this book is suitable for children who have a lot of their own fantasy worlds, coupled with the animal figures who are the main characters, and also interesting storyline for children. But it's possible that adults don't read it either, because I think even as an adult I still really like reading it. And then the character of this novel is Aslan is the main character of the story. And then the Peter Pevensey is a character from the story of Chronicles of Narnia. And then Susan Pevensey is the one of character from the story. He was the second of the Pevensey children. He made his first appearance in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. She is known as the gentle Queen Susan. And then the eighth man of Ed Pevensey is one of the main character. He is an important character in 3 of the 7 books. And then the Lucy Pevensey is one of characters from the story. And then she is the youngest of the Pevensey children. She made his first appearance in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And then the White Witch, also known as the Jadis, is a character in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. He comes from a world called Cairn. This is the proof that the character is, once there was a 4 children who named Peter, Susan, Edmund, and Lucy. This is a story about something that happened to them when they were sent away from London during the war because of the air raids. And then sound like the something fair, the sunlight can't count them. Their harness were scarlet letter, and then the sledge driving the reindeer. This is the proof that the white witch. Her face was white, not merely pale. And then Aslan, a man, said Mr. Beaver sternly. This is the proof that Aslan is the main character too. And the next is the setting of this novel is The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe is set in the magical land of Narnia. The beginning of the story is set in 1940 in England, where it's the heck of the World War II, and the Pevensey children are being sent away from the London because of the bombing at night. They are sent to live in the countryside in the large old house owned by a professor. It is in this large old house that Lucy finds the wardrobe that leads to Narnia. Narnia is a cold land ruled by the White Witch, who wants to control the entire kingdom and turn it into ice. Narnia is a magical land where animals can talk like humans and act like humans, and mythical creatures that is ruled by the evil White Witch. This is the proof that the setting is in the magical land of Narnia. And then the England. Once there were 4 children who named Peter, Susan, Edmund, and Lucy. This is story about something that happened to them when they were sent away from London. And then the proof that they are in Narnia. And may I ask, oh Lucy, daughter of Eve, said Mrs. Tomlin, how you have come into Narnia? Narnia? What's that? Said Lucy. And then the mood of this novel is didactic, like hearted sunshine, calmness, and hope. At times, the description of pleasant things that's text on a leaf of its own, going on and on, making the reader positively long to have tea with Lucy and Mrs. Tomness, or walk through the summery Narnian countryside, cold, dark, and unfriendly. And then shine, calmness, and hope. And then the plot of this novel is, during the World War II bombings of London, 4 English siblings are sent to a country house where they will be safe. One day, Lucy finds a wardrobe that transports her to a magical world called Narnia. The plot begins in the World War II and then become in the Narnia. The Lion Aslan rules Narnia. He is completely personified human with animal with human and heroic characteristic. Besides that, Aslan has the characteristic of Jesus that was referred to as the lion in the Holy Bible. This is the proof of the plot. And then like and dislike, the like of this novel is I like the focus on the honor and on each person behaving according to their role. And then I like the part when Edwin's back up Lucy, choosing to believe her on the basis of past evidence and siding with her even though the older ones don't. I love Lucy meeting with Aslan, particularly the bit where he seemed bigger to her, and she explained that this is not because he is older, but because he is. I never understood that part as a children, but when I did understand it, I really appreciate it. And then the dislike of this novel is I feel that the world things get wrapped up too quickly and too easily. Once Peter arrives on the scene, he clears out Nebek, Nikabrik, and Cole from the Council Camber. His plan for combat with Miraz work out, and the whole Termaran army is really easy defeat. I know the last part is primarily Aston God doing, but I wish the story had a bit more development to it. Peter arrives in the hut the start of CH 2012, and then the world things is done by the end of CH chapter 14. I know that the most of the story is about Caspian saga before Peter and the others join, but even so, the ending gets wrapped up too quickly for me. So this is the explanation from me from the my third book. So thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.